Can you? I'm taking that's it. Hi Carl, hi Yvette, hi Mary. Now, can you hear me? I'm not sure if you can hear me. Well, no one's responding, so I'm assuming that you can't. It's fucking Wi-Fi. Hello. You can hear me. Good. Well, that's a start. I don't know. There's some changes being done on the. Normally I have this next to me, right, so I can see what's going on and I can read this better and talk to you better. But there's been I don't know what's gone on, but I can't see it on here, so something's not right. Oh, hang on. Yes, comes through there. Yay! We're back. I've tried this about 5-6 times, so we've had a few false starts. Apologies for that. So guys, yeah, crap Wi-Fi. I think it's the Wi-Fi. It's to go fucking bollock shit. Anyway, hello everyone. It's so nice to be back chatting to you guys again. Anyway, have you enjoyed? Tonight was very short, wasn't it? Hello, New Zealand. It was such a long show, and I just cut it for where I thought that the right thing should be cut, and yeah, I was looking at the timeline, so I might so yeah, we've so that's why tonight was short. Tomorrow is an extra, as you've probably seen if you. Hopefully, freezing. My screen is freezing. Yeah. Anyway. It's blurry at best. There's nothing I can do. Absolutely nothing. Yeah, I know it's buffering. Gavin's just told me he's going to buy me some stuff for Christmas. Up it. I'm not an evil guy. I'm still pressing buttons. Yeah. Anyway, down there last week. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the episode. We have on Saturday we've got but Yvette's going to be Bulgaria. Hello Bulgaria. We'll chat. We've got some bits to show you. We've got some highlights. We got lots of chat, and we're going to show you the feature-length episode of the episode that we've talked about for quite a while. It's where Glenn, unfortunately, has well, very core, and that's thanks, Ruth. It's lovely to be back. And so it's I think that it's going to be played from. So happened, especially in this sort of secret location, and then afterwards, because of what happened to Glenn, any questions afterwards and ask him how he felt about what happened. You can quite happily he'll answer your questions. But I hope everyone's keeping well. I know this is slow and it's buffering and all that. There's nothing. I'm so sorry. Bloody. I mean, we're with Sky. Actually, let me just try and turn Doodle around. Give me 2 seconds. I don't know. That's probably not done anything, but who knows? Yeah, so we're with Sky, which is the worst. Well, Sky and BT, just absolutely appalling for Wi-Fi around here. Anyway, I promise you the world will give you peanuts. Anyway, isn't it shit all the stuff that's going on? I honestly thought. I remember when all this sort of COVID thing started earlier in the year. I remember we were all talking, saying, "I'll probably be done by." That's Watson. Watson's just down there having a little. What do you make? Oh, look, there's little Watson. There's little Watson. Look. Oh yes, yes, fella. He's only coming to me because his mum's upstairs in bed. He doesn't really like me, Watson. Yeah, we kind of thought all this COVID thing would have been sorted by now, but it's not. And it's very disheartening to see all the bloody idiots in London protesting about the freedom not to wear a mask. What freedom do they have? I know I said this before, that the freedom to wear a bit of cloth over here. Try taking all these cloths off and see how far you get naked walking down the street, and then come back and tell me how much freedom you think you've got, you bloody idiots. And it's because of them, not just because of them, but they're a great part of what's keeping this COVID thing going for everyone and keeping all of us in lockdown. I have to admit, Jenny came up with a great idea. She said, why don't we just do 2 months of normalness, and then every 2 months you have 3 weeks of lockdown. So you can prepare, you can get everything sorted, you know it's going to happen. And then, after that, another 2 months, and then 3 weeks more lockdown. But who knows? I don't know. I just think it's sad for all of us people that are trying our hardest to get rid of this horrible thing. And you have people wandering around without a mask on. I even saw in our supermarket, everyone obviously wears masks because you're supposed to, and this one person refused to wear a mask. And I'm surprised and disappointed with the supermarket not kicking his ass out, because I would have certainly helped. Can I repeat what I said about Glenn? Yes, I can. I can, Karina. The show that's going on Saturday night is we're going to be at a venue. We can't do a live. We really wanted to do a live. I had one set up and all of that. The problem we have is that the locations, obviously, some of them are in lockdown, and certainly where we wanted to do a live, it's now in a lockdown. And I kind of it would be wrong of us to even try to do an event, a live show, when there's so many people in lockdown, and we're just not going to do that. You have to set precedents, and I believe, whether it's right or wrong, I believe in following the guidance that's given to us. That's all we have. And so that's why we're not doing a live as such, but we are doing some live introductions. So Yvette will be live at a venue on Saturday. It starts at 6, so it's early, because we are doing 2 hours of sort of chat and bits and bobs, and if anything goes in that, we might do a little bit of an investigation. We don't know. But it's not a Most Haunted live. It's just, we're going to see how it goes. And then Yvette's going to introduce the feature-length episode at a secret location, or mystery location, or whatever you want to call it. And this is the one where Glenn gets physically and visibly shaken. He really did. More so than it shows on camera, to be fair. He was very very shaken. And he's going to be there as well on Saturday, so he's going to be there also afterwards for a chat. So once it finishes, again, we will have Wi-Fi there, so it'll be fine. It'll be fine. And we're going to have somebody tech there who actually does all this stuff a lot better than me. And so we'll work well. And so if you want to chat to him afterwards, just pop along and he will chat to you with Yvette. Yes, Maxine, he was shaking like the proverbial shitting pooch. Yeah, so anyway, that's it. That's what I was saying about Glenn earlier. I hope you're enjoying it. Like I said earlier, I'm going to repeat myself again now, but hey, because it was a bit tough getting going this evening. Tonight was a very short part, but that was my fault. Last night was, I think it was 2 hours 10 minutes, 2 hours 15 minutes, and tonight was only half an hour. So I just put the cut in the wrong place. Well, not in the wrong place. When I was doing the cut, and by the time it had gone out and uploaded, I realised one was ridiculously shorter than the other. But that won't happen again. On Monday, we've got another two-parter from... Oh, there's Mary just peeking around the door.
Am I okay to get some water?
Do you want to get some water? You don't have to drink water.
No.
Have you put 10 pence in the slot?
Oh. Hi.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So that'll be. I can't remember what I was talking about now, but oh yeah, we got a 2-part Accrington show, which is fantastic. It really is. I'm just finishing the edit today, actually. They'll probably do all the dubbing tomorrow to make sure all the Yvette's pieces to camera are all. The sound is fine, and all those sort of got to put music bits underneath. But it's bizarre when you're at a place and you're at a place quite a lot, and things happen, and you see an investigation, and you just see how crazy it can actually be. So that's Monday and Tuesday, and they're 2 parts. Again, I think they're about an hour and a half each, or an hour and 10 minutes each, 15 minutes each. So enjoy those. That's on Monday and Tuesday, and you've got an extra on. I can't remember. I'll put the schedule up. I can't remember what I put now. But come to historic South Greensferry. A lot of old shit around here. Yeah, there's a lot of that in my mother-in-law's house. Yeah, a few people have asked sort of about Darren and Fred on this last one. You remember is that not everyone does the shows. They've never have, with the exception of myself. Oh, hang on, that was a ghostly hand.
Sorry, goodbye.
Love
you.
Love you too. Don't know who she is. Yeah, it's always been where people was on holiday when this one was being made. In fact, he was away on all of these. So Darren, you won't see Darren on. Sadly, you won't see him on the Saturday version or on Monday and Tuesday's version. So that's and I love Darren to bits. I've known him for 20 years. He's a lovely guy. Fred, you've got to know Fred's not the youngest of the team, and sometimes long distance of travel is really too much for him, as it was on the last one. It was just too much for him to do, so that's why they're not on. Mary's, do you know what it's funny when I'm editing the shows. I mean, I see it kind of differently. When I'm editing the shows and I see both, I don't really see the similarity between the two, but every single other person does. So they sit there going, right, yeah, it's now. What about Bobby Ball? How sad is that? How sad is that? I'm devastated with that. He was such a lovely, lovely, lovely guy. He was someone I've worked with quite a few times over the years. Bumped into him in very different television scenarios. And Tommy Cannon as well, But what a great guy. He was just a lovely, lovely man. And I don't know, just lit up a room. It was just very sad. And 76 years old. I mean, that's nothing in this day and age. But rest in peace, Bobby, because you've got you gave us all a lot of fun, a lot of laughter, and I feel very sorry for Tommy and also all his other friends and his family as well, because that must be it must be devastating to lose someone who must have been a huge part of everyone's life that knew him in that way. Anyway, I'm a bit down. So what else has everyone been up to? I know we're all sick of COVID. Let's not talk about that anymore. We know we've got to hopefully. We'll get it. We'll all get through it at some point. But hey, if anyone's going out to Cornwall, be careful on the Devon part of the. I think you get the A30, is it? Be careful, because the old Bill are up there with their little vans, and they're actually matches. So just one corner of it is sticking out, and they're catching people. So if you are going down to Cornwall, just be careful, because they're doing you for just the slightest bit over the speed limit. And I know everyone will go, well, don't go over the speed limit, but come on, we all do a little bit. And the A30 is one of the straightest roads that there is, and it's not as though you want to speed, you just sometimes end up by actually doing it. Anyway, we're in Devon, only because we've been down there a few times, and I got caught. And weirdly enough, every time I've been going down there, they've they've been on the same side of the road that I'm going. They've never been on the other side. It's like they know. And I had to do one of those speed awareness courses online. And I have to say, if you ever get the chance and do it, because when you do it in person, it's like 4 hours, and online it's only, I don't know, a couple of hours, 2 hours, 15 minutes, something like that. And actually, it was quite, well, I certainly wouldn't say enjoyable, but it was okay. It was okay. Right, what's that? Now, let's just ask Haunted Scouse. Taking 20 years of inspiration and starting our own channel, Carl. Oh, well done. Thanks for sharing us how it's done. Do you know, good luck to you. Let us know how you get on, and let's, if we can, let's give you some support as well. If we can get people, you know, Haunted Scouts, let us know how you're getting on, and try and support you and get you some subscribers and all of that kind of stuff, because I think we need it. And do you know what? Isn't it weird? Yesterday, when you think we trended. I mean, isn't that amazing? No other paranormal show that's been shown this week on the big channels that have got all of this money to throw away on promotions and stuff. None of those trended. So that's down to all you guys for actually doing it. Lorraine from the London area. Do you know when it will be on TV again? How are talks going? Well, do you know what? Of course, we were. thanks, Amy. I wish I was. Natalie, I agree. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say. Oh, and Ray. Yeah, thanks. Yep. I yes. What was I saying? I can't remember what I was going to say then. Oh yes. Well, we weren't talks earlier, but obviously with the COVID thing going up and down, all the TV companies don't know what budgets they've got, unless you're an American television program, of course. So we're not really getting a. So it's just things happening. I mean, some of these shows were probably the ones that you're seeing the last couple of nights, and the one you're seeing Saturday, and the one you're seeing Monday and Tuesday. We're going to keep on moving, showing episodes on YouTube until a deal can be done. But you know, we'll see. Bring back the beard. I liked it. I have to say, I quite liked it. Any clues on the new most haunted on the most haunted venues coming up? We got some goodies coming up actually. Of course, the problem is every time we had quite a few to film over the couple of weeks, but obviously we had to cancel them because of this lockdowns and quite rightly, you know, it's a pain having to do it, but it's what we have to do, adapt and move around. So we've had to put a lot of filming on hold, but we are still doing some. Paul O'Grady, yes, Paul's lovely, as you know. He's a very dear friend of both Yvette and myself. That's great. Just remind me of the podcast. I don't know if you've ever, any of you haven't heard of the podcast, but if you haven't, go to just go to your search engine and stick in Yvette and Glenn's Anytime Podcast. That's Yvette and Glenn's Anytime Podcast. I think the last one out, which is 52, it's just a lot of fun, especially in this awful time we're having at the moment. It kind of takes you away from it, and it's just it's a lot of fun. But if you do, have a look. And I have to say a huge shout to lovely Jenny, because of all of this, you know, especially with Most Haunted Experience. I know a lot of you guys have been on one, and we literally, we've had locations shut down for COVID. We've had locations letting us down because they have better offers. We've had locations, and poor Jenny, she has just without glitch, she just changes them, she moves them, she does everything she does, and she does it brilliantly. And I honestly would as a Paul O'Grady shows just said hi, or anyway, hi Paul O'Grady show. But we, and if as we say, we're huge fans of Paul here. And she just literally just keeps on going. She's had so much pressure, and when you think she's got pressure from every single one of the guests, bless them, because they want to come on an event and they paid their money and they want to come on, and then all of a sudden it has to be cancelled. And then you've got the locations, all of this kind of stuff. So there's lots of different things that are that she's done, and she's worked tirelessly. So thank you very much, Jenny, for that. You're brilliant, and it's nice to see you on the show as well. It's good, even tonight. Right, my name's Stuart. This is Jenny. I'm a man, and she's a woman. For those ghosts who are confused. What? I have no idea. Right. Millie, hi. Hi, Carl. I grew up in a village next to where Hodroyd Hall is. Shafton. My dad was brought up there too. Always said it was haunted when he was a kid, and close to Wentworth too. Do you know what? Has anyone here, have any of you guys had any? I'm not just talking about just or changed something you were going to do. Now, for example, my mum and dad. I mean, my dad's not here anymore, sadly, but my mum and dad had a. They've never believed in religion or afterlife, or they're not spiritual people. But I think there was a time when we were kids, before all the motorways were as they were. My dad's parents lived in Tyneside, Thornaby, and we used to go there, but it used to take about sort of 6, 7, 8 hours to get up there in those days, from Guildford to Thornaby. And there was this one particular day where we were all in the car. We used to leave at sort of 3 or 4 in the morning, and we were all in the my brother and I were in the back of the car fast asleep, so we didn't know anything was going on. We were tiny little things, and apparently they were driving. They were all got everything packed and in the car, and they'd driven for about half an hour. And my mum just turned to my dad and said, "I don't feel right about this trip." And my dad said to me, "Mum, neither do I. It's like we're not going to get there if we carry on." And for that moment, they both turned the car around, went back, and we went the following day. And that's something, it's a very strong feeling. So, please say a big hello to Tracy and Andrew from Forest Gate. And do you know what, Tracy and Andrew? I love you too. Both of you equally. Have you ever gone to investigating Bury? Yeah. I know we did Bake Up, yeah, which is near. That was a few years back. Bake Up's great place. Reg Corker needs to do a walk round or an hour for an opening. Maybe he's going to do a live. I think he's down to do a live. He's going to do a live thing on Facebook, live reading. I forgot what it's called then. It's getting late. I've been in the edit all day, to be fair, and I've just come down to do this, and as soon as it's finished, I'm back up to the edit, try and finish the shows that we've got to do. There's loads of questions. How am I? Oh, that's very nice. Thank you, Christopher. I'm very well, thank you very much. It's yeah, all good, I have to say. I'm the luckiest bugger in the world anyway, because I wake up next to Yvette every morning, so my day always starts brilliantly. And I know people are going, oh, but it's the truth. It is the absolute truth. What cars do I drive now, Rob? Well, I've got rid of a few, to be fair. I've got rid of a few. Which is very naughty. It's very naughty. Yeah, I got rid of a few. I'm lucky to drive the cars I do, so I'm not going to go on here and tell you what I've got. But Anyway, but yes, I still drive a few different cars, which I'm very fortunate and lucky to be able to do. Paintings and stuff, but for me, I look at a car and I just see a work of art. And sitting in it and listening to the engine go is just remarkable. Just remarkable. The sound is just... I got to say hello to my tortoise. This is from Daz. Now, is your tortoise, what's his name? Malcolm. For fuck's sake. Okay, is Malcolm watching? I need to know that Malcolm Green. Malcolm, I love you. Yeah, I know. My Wi-Fi. Tell me something I don't know. Hello from Camberley. Camberley. Now, Camberley is just really down the road from where I used to live in Guildford. One of my mates, Steve Cottrell, used to live in Camberley. You're right, Lorraine. God, sorry, everything's going really quick. Just trying to sort of grab something and stop it. Right. Will I go back to the bus museum? Do you know what? I'd love to go back to the bus museum because the bus museum was great. It really was. And there's lots of things happen. I think I'd like to go back to because really, you think in one night we only got to be in a few different vehicles, and it'd be nice to do a lot more. Do we still like Creepy Doll? Yes, it's we've got it in a lockup, in a secure lockup. Yvette won't let it in the house. I've tried a few times to get it in the house, but she just won't let it. Just trying to stop this every now and then because it's going nuts. It's going nuts. Hi, Carl. Good to see you again. This is from Susan. Open the Crescent in Buxton now. At long last, you're going to have to come back. Okay, yeah, well. Oh, right, yes. Oh, yes. Crescent in Buxton. Love Buxton. In fact, it was in Buxton not long ago, actually. Maybe Monday. Anyway. Carl gives amazing hugs. Oh, thanks, Chad. Lee and Anna, South Wales. Lee and Anna, I've always got a hug for you guys. I always like a good hug, and that's the sad thing about this bloody COVID. I know we weren't supposed to talk about it again, but I'm a very tactile person, so I love to give people a hug, and I think you can tell a lot by people when you just give them a hug. You can a good proper hug, I think, is an honest thing. It's just a nice hello, how are you, and then barriers are down, you can chat. Hello from the Isle of Wight. Hello, Isle of Wight. Swansea South. Wow. Eat my apple. Right. It's a quitch, not hug. Well, whatever it is, it's nice. Waterford Island. Wow, there's lots of people. Right, hang on. Best memory working a night shift. Right, someone saying we snuck up on someone cleaning the fridge. It may have been actually when Stuart and I were travelling somewhere and scared the crap out of you, because it does happen. It's quite funny. Oh, hugs from America. Hello, America. It's weird because when you're travelling all around the place, sometimes you get to go to these, certainly places around 24 hours, you get there at stupid o'clock, so we could be travelling back and be 4 or 5 in the morning. And quite often they're dead. So when you walk in, it's quite quiet because you've got to make a noise. So when you walk in, you go, hello, and it scares the living crap out of people when they're not expecting it. Hi, Mr. Werewolf. I'm from Daventry. Come back to the Isle of Wight. I'd love to come back to the Isle of Wight. I do like the Isle of Wight very, very, very much. Right, Carl, have you been to Graceland? Graceland. Sorry, it's right. You pronounced it. You spelt it right. I pronounced it wrong. Also, my mum, Joy. Love you guys. Well, we love you. We do love you, and I'd love. I've got this thing about Gracelands. I've come to this before, in the fact that, see, I love Elvis, and yeah, I mean, I'm a heterosexual male, but that was the most perfect human being, a man that you could possibly ever meet. I mean, the guy was a gorgeous looking human being, and hugely talented, obviously. But my thing is his home was his home, and I'm not knocking anyone else who wants to go. I just don't really want to enter that threshold. I think it's crossing the line a little bit, I think. But it is what it is. I think isn't it the second most visited attraction next to the White House in America, Graceland, which is fantastic. House Stews. I'm pretty sure he found it because I've seen him since, and he did have an arse. Not that I was looking at his arse; he just had one. I'm sure he had one. Yeah, he must have had one because he was sitting down. You can't sit down if you don't have an arse, or if your arse is broken. Can you break your arse? What's your favourite Elvis film? Most from Cat. Yours is GI Blues. Yeah, do you know what? I love Jailhouse Rock. I think it's an absolutely superb movie, and King Creole. I think King Creole is a great movie. Now, I'm not sure if you guys remember, but if you've seen it, of course. But he has this sort of falling out. He has a knife fight at the end with this young other guy. Now that guy is sadly he's dead now. He died on a movie set. He was doing and he died with two children as well. And it was a stunt where he picks up these two children, and this helicopter's supposed to crash, and he runs through some water, and apparently the helicopter malfunctioned. And the blades came down and decapitated him. And so that was kind of sad. And also Jailhouse Rock, the lady that played opposite Elvis in that, I mean, that was her first big break, and she got killed in a car crash before the movie came out, and which absolutely devastated Elvis, obviously. But anyway, because we're constantly filming more episodes, we've been on hiatus with the coding, and when we can get in, we come as quickly as we can and leave. So when a lockdown happens, we obviously can't. And don't forget, some of the team are in lockdown areas, so they can't come along. But anyway, it's we are constantly filming. 666. How bizarre. Is your button stuck? Right. Carl, how are you? Please can you give a shout out, Trace, Phil and Bella in Norfolk. Huge fan as well. As a big shout out to you. Big hugs and kisses to you all. That's not right. Loads of right, this is from Alison, sending loads of hugs. You guys check out the Cathedral Hotel in Glasgow. I love Glasgow. It's supposed to have a lot of activity. Apparently the chief has named the kitchen, or the chef, I can imagine that'd be, has named the kitchen Poltergeist Hector. Hi from Ireland. Dunfermline. Right, what's this? Can I get a shout out from all subscribers? Do what you need. It's an open forum. You just do what you need, my friend. Do what you need, but don't keep asking if you can get a shout out for more subscribers, because you can't. There we go. Another one. I'm just gonna hide that. Why? Anyway, yeah, that was funny. He did. It was weird because I had a partially rotten dead body. To be fair, I've seen one of his ex-girlfriends. She did look like a partially decomposed. Anyway, I'm messaging from Sales in Accrington. I'm still living here. That's big, Carl. Malcolm was watching and says he loves me too. Do you know what? That's as long as Malcolm loves me too. I love a nice tortoise. Look, we've all got a hobby. Eval won't let me bring a tortoise into the bedroom though. I don't even know what it means. How's your summer house coming along? You know what, Laura? It's coming on very well. We've had a little bit of a stop because I couldn't get the wood. I tried like crazy to get the wood, and weirdly enough, it came about a week ago, I guess. But because of all the editing for these, I've not managed to get back in there. But I reckon I've got probably about, once I finish all this Halloween stuff, I think I've probably got about another 2 weeks and it'll be finished, and that'll be fine. I've been at Cobham Hall in Kent. No, I haven't actually. Galleries of Justice again? Yeah, Galleries of Justice. Always good. Do you know what the sad thing is we've noticed there's quite a few places that we've been to before and that we filmed at have closed because of all this sort of stuff, and it's very sad because any business that has to close is sad because people put a lot of hard work and the time, effort, and their dreams into into running a business, and it's so sad when you see them close, and because of this bloody pandemic. I have to admit, one thing it has made me realise is how fragile we all are as a human race. We all think we're great, and we've spent so many years designing huge machines that destroy countries and that will obliterate civilizations, and yet we can't stop a disease like COVID. As you think about that, we spent more time and effort on killing everyone else and other people than we are making ourselves safe. And I think that's just weird. It's very weird. And sad as a human race. I really did. The Clerkenwell's House of Detention is apparently reopened again. Oh, that's good. Now going by the name of Clerkenwell Catacombs. You know what? That's not a bad shout. I give that we give that a look into, because I love that, and I'd love to go back there again with a decent team that will really investigate it properly. And we're so more advanced now. In what we do, we've got so much more experience. I think we'll get a lot more. Stirling Castle, would love to do Stirling Castle. Great place. What are your thoughts on what you're doing? Any more thoughts on what you're doing with the old episodes? Well, the old episodes on really, we're going to be putting them on the channel for now. We've got a couple of court cases going on because people are trying to, on YouTube, funnily enough, are showing them when they shouldn't. They've stolen them, and it's copyright theft. So we've got a couple of those, and I'm sure there'll be more. What I always find is weird is people steal your copyright, and they don't think there's anything wrong with that, and yet that's how you make your living. That's how you show this. And even if we don't get anything for the reruns of Most Haunted, Sky make all that money, but the ones that from Really, and we don't get any of the reruns from Really, but the ones that when people steal your content, and they're making money out of your content, your hard work, they're making money, and people go, "Oh, is that much difficult?" Well, yeah, you try. You go to work for a week and give 80% of your money to somebody else, or somebody else just comes and takes 80% of your money. You'd be upset, and it's just wrong. It's just wrong. By all means, use YouTube, put your stuff up, and make it yourself. Don't steal other people's. And the funny thing is quite often we are always very nice. We always ask people not to do it. I always say, "Can you please not do it?" And some do it straight away and apologise, which is fine, and I'm cool with that. And then others get belligerent, and so you take them to court. And then the day before court, they start begging you not because they're going to lose their house. Not my problem. They just shouldn't be there. You just don't steal things from other people. Doing the same message over and over again. You 1, 2, 3, 4. You just put the same message 4 times down, my friend. It's bizarre. Is there someone? Oh, this is good. Tummy blondes. Hi guys, is there somewhere you want to investigate but haven't had the opportunity? Yes, I'd love to do Alcatraz. I really would love to do Alcatraz. Oh, the birdhouse is still standing, by the way. Purely because I think Alcatraz, again, it's never really been done to any great extent as a proper investigation, I don't think. And there's so much history, but not just the prison, just what was on there before, because it's supposed to be, as I understand, I could be wrong, and if I am, forgive me, but I'm sure it's a sacred Indian burial ground. I could be, but I'm sure that's the case, because I think there was, when we wanted to do it, there was some court case going on in America about who actually owned it or who could go on it. I can't really remember now because it was some time ago. Maggie Moo, the shepherd's hut, how we blow up sheep. Blow up sheep's well used. Shepherd's hut as well. I'm gonna actually, no, I'm gonna spend another night down there. I did before. I'm gonna spend another night, and you guys should join me. Actually, we should spend a night down in my shepherd's hut just to see what happens, because it's supposed to be haunted. I have to admit, there are some weird things going on. I mean, not so much with these 2 little dogs, but when I had the Alsatian and yeah, Stan, my Alsatian, he was absolutely scared of nothing. Absolutely scared of nothing. And yet, every now and then, you go for a walk into the wood, and there's a walkway in the wood, and the trees sort of kind of do this, sort of coming out, a bit, and there's like a tunnel. And just every now and then, you don't think of it much, you just walk through it, but every now and then it looks really ominous. It looks like, and there was the odd day where you'd walk by and I'd be halfway down there and you'd think, this doesn't feel right. You'd turn around and Stan would be right at the other end looking at me going, nah, I ain't coming in, fuck it. And that's the days you went, okay, we'll go somewhere else for a walk today. It can be a weird place, but it is what it is. Ramin, yeah, I'd love to go back to the Ramin. Farnham, Surrey is incredible. Chloe, it is. I love Farnham, especially Castle, all that around there. But again, Farnham's not far from where I used to, my old stomping ground, Farnham. I do miss, actually, I miss all that so much. I miss going around. And Chloe is a great photographer. If you ever get the opportunity to jump into Chloe Weaver, have a look at her pages and stuff. She's such a talented photographer, really is. Some of the stuff she comes up with is just brilliant, and that's, yeah. So if you do need anything, go onto her page, check her out, because she really is great. Right. Hi Carl, would you like to go to Grayson's if it were possible? Yeah, I kind of mentioned that before. Not really. I'm not. No. Would you like to Ouija board for the people who died on the Titanic? Well, do you know what? There was before we finished at Living, we were going to try to do a get in a sub and actually try and do a seance and a Ouija board over the Titanic, because I thought that would be great to do. Get as close as we could. Eerie as anything. But the channel, for some reason, said no one would be interested in watching that. Big TV. You gotta love them. And they were the people that were running a channel. Anyway, enough of that. Love the lock-offs at the prison with a yes, spiral staircase is great. I have to admit, it's one of the things that I'd like to do. Living is Stupid, I'd love to see that. Well, they were, to be fair. They I mean, this is a channel that really did some bizarre things, really bizarre things. And when you think, if it wasn't for Most Haunted, they wouldn't have survived. Yeah, But anyway, it's another story, a long story, that one. I'm not going into that yet. Living wouldn't have had the budget to pull that off. Oh, they would have had. They would have had. They spent millions on that awful Scylla show that they did, where they thought it was going to be the big thing. I think it was well over $1 million on that. I'm sure it was well over $1 million. Yeah, so they would have the budget, trust me. I work HMP Peterborough, and I'm gutted you can't investigate here. Weird stuff happening on my land. Do you know what? Wouldn't it be great if you could actually investigate a haunted prison that's still loose? Because the things with prisons is there's so many of them now that are open to the public, that are, and they're all great. There's not one any better than the other. They've all got something different to offer. So I mean, HMP Gloucester for me it's not been investigated as much as some of the others, but wow, when we did our extra there, to be taken off your feet with a sound, was phenomenal. It's never happened in 20 years of doing this thing. Never happened. And to be fair, when I fought, I think I was only ever knocked on my feet once when I was fighting in the ring. That was because I was arsing around, but yeah, I just think it would be great to do a prison where people are still in there. Really would. But I can't wait to get back to Gloucester because we're doing that soon, and we want to do an episode there because it warrants it. It's probably got more history as far as famous criminals than the other prisons that are out there, in my opinion. And also, you still the death cells are still intact. Unfortunately, the side, and because lots of the death cells or the execution rooms, they're not the actual execution rooms that you think they are. A lot in a lot of prisons, but some are, some aren't. Victoria Scott, the oldest Masonic lodge in the world, is situated in Sunderland, and that's haunted. It's not the it's not the oldest Masonic lodge. It might be the only. It could be the oldest building that is designated for Masonic meetings, but it won't be the oldest Masonic lodge. Just throwing it out. But it's haunted, so I'd have to go. The prisoners would fuck about, yeah, they probably would. They probably would. Unless we went into isolation. Andrea, I love you. Do you know, Andrea, I love you too. Are you going to Wentworth Woodhouse again? No, not. We did a lot for Wentworth, and when the people who owned Wentworth, lovely people, but then, as always happens, when a trust takes over, things change. And we did a couple of events there. Bearing in mind, we gave them to do for all the other paranormal events companies to come along, and we made them an awful lot of money. But there was one night we were there, and they had a fireworks display outside. And as you know, you can't really have a fireworks display when you're doing a paranormal event. And then we went there again, and then they had a wedding on the same night we were doing our event. And to that point, they were making more out of us than they were out of the wedding and the fireworks display. However, they said that they couldn't guarantee that they wouldn't do that again. So we walked away, and we had to, because our guests are the most important thing. And we want them to have the best night they possibly can, and you can't do that if a location's going to be that daft. You just can't. You can't really. You can't fight silliness. You have to. If you're going to rent your place out for paranormal investigation, you have to give them leoparding. We did one there, and the lady, she's gone now, but the lady who ran the place decided that she was going to lock in and a band on the night. So you hit, okay, Michael, well, it's not, my opinion on psychics matters nothing. really. I've not had I've not had a great experience with some. I've had a brilliant experience with others. I've never, with the exception of Brian Shepherd, I think he was the only one that I've worked with that actually maybe not question is the wrong word, but certainly left me with questions, because he said a couple of things that there's no one on this earth he could have known, and he was the only one out of everyone that I've met that have that's done that. He really is, and he's a lovely guy. You know, there lots of psychics. They will, they're desperate for fame, fortune, and all that kind of stuff, and they will, step over their burning grandmother to get on camera. And yet Brian was always the opposite. He was just a lovely, well, he still is a lovely family man. He's a good friend as well, and I think out of all, it says a lot, because he's the only one I'd ever have back on Most Haunted. The only one. But again, it's psychics. I can't. One of the things I find the most difficult is if you think that if these people are saying that they have crossed this divide, this thin veil between life and death, and they're talking to the dead, and they come up with, I'll be careful of somebody called H, or I've got your grandmother here, you lived on so and so road, you've done this. Why can't they give us something that we that would help mankind? Is Hitler sorry for what he did? Who actually shot Kennedy? W.C. Fields. Apparently, W.C. Fields put all of his money into lots of different accounts. W.C. Fields was an old black and white actor from the silent. Well, he was a talkie as well. But in trust banks, we put all of his money into lots of different accounts under different names. And when he died, no one knew what the names were. Now, those accounts apparently today will be worth billions. Why can't they talk to him, find out what the accounts were, and all of that money goes to charity? How great would that be? And you've got all of these people saying they've helped police solve crimes, they've helped police. The FBI came out with, because they were sick and tired of psychics saying that they've helped them with crimes, solve crimes. And they've said there isn't one case of any psychic ever helped solving a crime. And the same with the chief of police here in the UK came out with exactly the same. He said there's never a point where a psychic has actually helped solve a crime. Not saying that in the past police haven't talked to them, but nothing they've ever done has helped solve a crime. And I think that for me says says everything, And the thing is, but I'm not psychic bashing at all, because I think they're out there. I believe in psychics. I believe that they're out there. I'm just saying my experience is, I say with the exception of Brian, is I don't think I've met one, with the exception of Brian. I would love to. I mean, we all would. We all love to have someone come up and give us some information that is in the distance, as a psychic giving you some information. Oh, this is great, but when you get closer and closer and you look further into it, it's just a crumbly mess, and it's not what it seems to be. So, and that's it. So, and I'm not going to diss specific psychics. That's not the way I do it. It's just not who I am. But we'll leave it as what I've said, and it's only my experience. That's it. The reason we don't use them on the show is I got tired of either catching some out. You have locked off shots, and then you see them looking at information, and you have to have trust. And you see them looking at information, and then later on in the night they're coming out with that information. That's it, really. Sorry, I'm slow at reading, because these classes are actually vets, and they're not brilliant. Well, they're good for a vet, but not great for me. What's the scary? My scariest, most haunted is probably 30 Years Drive. Would you go back? Yeah, we'd go back. I think, East Drive, it's been done by everyone and his dog and his dog's friend and his dog's friend's dog walker friend. And the problem is when we did our research and we looked back at other families who'd lived there, and there was only ever one specific, there was poltergeist activity and stuff, but there's only one specific thing ever been seen, and that was this tall, dark, looming shadow where people think it's a monk. People see it in different ways, but that's what they've assumed it was. And now, we keep hearing that there's supposed to be murders up in there. There's never been a murder there, with the exception of possibly the big black tall figure, dark figure that's supposed to be there. Some say that he was a monk that was murdered in a well. There's stories about the well being under the house. I've not had anything confirmed of that yet. We did a lot of research, couldn't find it. And now, there's people saying there's children there. There's this, that, and the other. It needs a rest. I think it does anyway. And somebody needs to sort of just, I don't know, it needs to close for 3 months or so, just to give it a rest. And God, I'm so thirsty. I think down a gallon of grape juice. And I don't mean wine. I mean grape juice. Anyway, that's that. I guess a new house would be haunted if something had happened on the land. Yeah, absolutely. If again, Hazel. You're. What was that, Hazel? I just saw Hazel and I said, and that kind of my eye went straight to you. But yeah, any new house would be could be haunted, because it depends on what was there before. We live in just through that door there is the original foundations for the house. They go back to the medieval period. So you think that obviously this would have been farmland at one point. Well, we're sitting here now until this bit was built. So you think over the land, there's, who knows, people could have died, people could have been killed. But there you go. Please go to Ian. Yeah, do you know what? I think we were going to try and do a live there at once. Would it go back to the Lyceum Crew? Yeah, we would. We were going to, but I think again they had a full lockdown and we couldn't go in, which was a bit sad. What's my favourite investigation? Do you know what? Well, that is one of the most difficult things to answer, purely because it's because I have favourite investigations for different reasons. I think sometimes there's favourite investigations because you got scared shitless. There's other investigations you got because it was just so intriguing, and others because you were just in the most beautiful, weird place you've ever been to. And sometimes you sit there and you kind of go, you realise the enormity of it. And I remember being in Philadelphia when we were doing Eastern State Penn, and I remember it was one of the first times I was standing in a road, and we blocked off of these roads in America, and we had the police at each end blocking it off. We had all these big trucks, we had cranes, we had lights, we had cameras everywhere, and it was all on my shoulders. And I remember standing there, we in the middle of this road in America, and looking around, thinking, I ain't done bad for a guy that said this wasn't going to work, and that when I was a kid everyone told me I wouldn't amount to anything. And I think that was probably one of the first times I realised that we'd created something that was quite big. You have to give me that again, Jenny. Because I've forgotten it. Sorry, Jenny's just after it's sometimes I get messages, texts on here. If you could be locked down with, hang on, where was that? We could be locked down with any spirit, who would it be other than Elvis? Oscar Wilde. Oscar Wilde. It'll be like sitting in a very comfortable battery-operated bed settee. Just comfy, getting massaged while you're talking to someone. Completely relaxing. Because I just think he would be fantastic. I really do. Would we think about bringing back wines and spirits? Yes, we would, as well. Yeah, we would. We're looking at that. Yeah, Oscar Wilde. I think. Do you know what? And when you think the sad thing about Oscar is a huge talent, obviously. Huge mistake taking the Marquis of Queensberry to court because that was his downfall. But quite right, he shouldn't have been. He shouldn't have put up with the slander that was going around. But do you know what? And the other thing is most of the people that were judging him were probably guilty of a lot worse crimes than he did. And yeah, let's face it, he didn't do any crime. Certainly not in today's standards. You go back then and you think there's certain things were illegal, which was stupid, but that was the law of the time. And you can't retrospectively go back and change it, sadly. But anyway. So, have I seen any UFOs? Do you know what, Michael? Yvette and I we were coming back from, I think it was Ruthin, I think. Either going to or coming back from Ruthin. Yvette and I were together. And we saw this bright light in the sky. But it was like one, and then two other lights came to the side and just stayed there, and then they shot off so quickly. It was bizarre, and Yvette and I both saw it, and it was quite bizarre because we both saw it at the same time. We both looked at what the fuck is that, and so when we came home, we needed plant-based milkshake to keep ourselves calm. What the fuck is a plant-based milkshake? Fruit-based milkshake, right? Anyway, would that be locked down with? Oh, crumbs, no. Oh, please no. Could you please say hi to my 11-year-old Adara? What a beautiful name. That's from Claire. Oh, she always tells you off when you swear. Do you know, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Zara. I've got a possy mouth and I absolutely apologise to you. This is my apologise to you, and I'll do my best not to swear. I really will, and I apologise. Because it's never good swearing. I'm sorry. Love you loads. That's me told off. Hi, could you say hi to my dad, Dave? This is from Rocky Raccoon. Something tells me that's not your real name, Rocky. He's been Fan of Assaulted since way back in the mid-2000s. Hi Dave, how are you, mate? And thanks for watching us for mid-2000s till now. What and when was the last paranormal thing that happened in your house? Just trying to think. We have quite a lot of weird stuff happening generally, really. You quite often hear sort of people walking up and down the stairs when there's no one there, and that's quite an occurrence. And when you're in the house on your own, you constantly think somebody's come back in because they'll be walking around, and you know, like if Yvette's out and she comes back in, I'll call her name a few times, come back down, and you realise she's just not in. And that's what we get lots of stuff. Oh, Florida. How are you, Paula from Florida? Crouch End tunnels, right? Whoa. I used to live in Crouch End. Hey, Carl. Would you ever think of doing a live at Crouch End tunnels and Highgate Cemetery? Highgate Cemetery, yes, certainly. I didn't even know there were tunnels in Crouch End. I spent a lot of time in Crouch End, sort of way back in my London life. You know, it's North London, but I don't know what I was doing like that, like an East Ender. But no, when I was a camera op, I spent quite a bit of time in Crouch End. Nice place. Don't know what it's like now. funnily enough, it was when I was in London that made me. It was Crouch End that made me realise I needed to move out of London, because I was working, doing camera work and stuff, and this one particular point, I went for a walk, and I just had this urge to see a tree. And it's probably changed now because there probably are a lot of trees there, but there was bugger all then. And I walked. I didn't have a panic attack, but I just wanted to see a tree, and I walked for ages to try and find a bloody tree, and I couldn't find one. So I got in my car and then drove to the first park I could find, and sat in there for a bit, and then I just realised I needed to go. Right, it's 11 o'clock. I need to go because I need to carry on editing. Thanks for the chat, guys. I really do. Oh, hi, Pennsylvania. That's from Ruth. Thank you, Ruth. That's very kind of you. And I'm glad you guys are watching in the States. Hopefully, we'll have some good news for you in the States soon. We've got a couple of things going on in there. Weirdly enough, broadcast over here is kind of up in the air, but a lot of it seems that America's got their act together, quite a lot of it, and we're in talks with a few people, which is great, about doing other stuff out there as well. Anyway, more hugs from America, and all the hugs back to you from every single one of us here in the UK, or in England first, Great Britain second, UK, Europe, and everywhere else. We love you anyway. Thank you very much, guys, and hopefully if you're about on Saturday, we'll have a chat on Saturday as well with Yvette, and I hope you're enjoying the shows. Keep it forward and keep pressing the hashtag most haunted. Let's see if we can trend. Certainly on Halloween night, that would be fantastic if we could trend on Halloween night. It will be superb. But thank you, guys, and I hope you're enjoying the shows, and I'm going to get back upstairs to edit. Loads of love.